Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. So of course it's a catch up of what's been done during the last week since my last yarn talk update, because generally this is like a work in progress kind of talk video. So yeah, we'll talk a bit about yarn, and of course as always we cannot do yarn contents and stuff without me having my faithful mug of tea here, which today is actually for me a brand new tea. It's a tea that I received in a Happy Mail. If you haven't watched that video yet, I will link to that one in the description box down below. One of my viewers sent me a lovely Happy Mail from America that contained a yarn, and I got some tea, and I had some, like a big bag of assorted teas I received from there. And one of them was this stash tea, which is with wild raspberry hibiscus, and it's a herbal tea, and that's the one I'm drinking today. And I have to say, it's a very lovely tea. I did let it stand for a little bit too long actually when I was making it, so I feared it had gotten kind of too strong. But it feels still quite right. So I'm quite happy that I didn't spoil it. I feared I had spoiled the tea, but I didn't. Anyhow, let's talk a bit about all these things that's been going on. I should have been started on recording the tutorial, but I didn't because simply it's been a week of rain. And the rain here has been really like, it's not been windy, but it's just been constantly pouring down with rain. And when it's really raining a lot, you can hear it in the background of the recordings. So to ensure quality recordings and not me having to double work and do voiceovers and stuff like that, which I am also aware gives a slight different tone throughout the video, I've decided to postpone the recording. And if everything goes well, it might be dry this week, some of the days, and I will get started this week. And next week, definitely, because the weather is getting better here. We have been having rain for probably 2 or 3 weeks now, and only maybe a single dry day in between. I haven't checked the rivers yet. I expect the water will be pretty high. What is that the rain's so much right now that you can see the ground is slowly starting to struggle to basically condense it, or take it in, like just as if it was dry. It happens as well if it's too moist. So yeah, it's a wet summer. Was a really dry spring. I hope this is not gonna be a permanent only dry or only wet, but you know, a bit of mix of everything would be good, but we all can dream. So yeah, I didn't start on it yet, but I still have the yarn that I will be using for that tutorial, which is this one here, which is the Hobby Twister yarn, and that's the one I will be basically using for the tutorial. Lovely colorway here. It's a colorway, if I'm not wrong, yeah, 52 Cent Garden. I will be starting on the out edge and go towards the inner edge. I've not blocked the shawl yet either. I will be blocking the shawl probably in a week and a half, because then a few things changes in the house here, and I will actually have a bit more room to put my blocking mats out. And I will show you the Leafy Shawl once it's blocked. So that was just a quick update on that. Then we also last yarn talk talked about the hats and other things that I'm donating to charity. And I called my mom and spoke with her. I'm not sure if it was Friday, this weekend in any case. Could have been Saturday actually. I think it was Saturday. And talked with her about the summer top that I made last summer. Because the thing is, the summer top has been laying in my closet for a full year, and I've only used it once. And while I do like the design of it, it's just not sitting superb on me. So it's not something that I automatically will use, and then it's a shame it takes the room in my closet. I also, being the really kinda outside of the bolero that I really like, one of my first garments, I don't think it's super perfect, and it's not something that I would sell. So therefore I decided that I should donate it to charity. There might be some here that don't know which it is. It's this lovely orange one. It was, it's in the mango color, and it was made in the Karen Simply Soft. And it's basically a bit like, it's a summer top, basically. And it looks like this, more or less. It has, the front and the back side is identical. This would be the shoulder area, and I sew it together just on the top point, so you have like these leafy, airy shoulder parts, basically. Reasonably big sleeve, but yeah, it's just, it feels drapey and everything, but either my figure, so to say, does not look very well with it, or maybe I made it too small in the end, even though it doesn't really feel like it because it fits perfectly. It's just, some patterns are not meant to be for your body shape. That's it, basically. So I find it really a waste to have it laying in my closet, because I'm not using it. It takes space for something that I could create that I would actually use. I spent hours on making this, and in a sense it's a shame to give it away, but at the same time I feel good about it, because I know that the charity will make people happy with it. They not only, so this charity don't only give things away to people that's homeless, in the sense of homeless on the streets, for winter hats, socks, beanies, gloves, etc. They also give away things to people who's been fleeing their countries, so that would be refugees, and they often don't have anything with them at all. So yeah, the decision has been made. This one is going to charity. Yeah, that's the end result, because I won't be using it as much as I really ideally wanted to. Sometimes we have to make decisions on the things we make for ourselves. Sometimes they're just not meant to be it. And that's okay. That's fully okay. So, baby blanket. That is a story on itself, isn't it? I did not progress very far at all this week. I think I made just a few shells, basically. Surprise, this is kind of it. I started watching something, and then it got too exciting and not easy to follow without keeping my eyes on the television. And keeping track on this, and then it just didn't happen. So let's put it like this. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shells. I wouldn't say it's embarrassing, but it's just how it is. What I do know is that I really want to finish up this one, but I have a few other things that's having a tiny bit higher priority. I will explain to you in a bit why. But after that, I think I will slowly speed up on this as well. But I will also, obviously, I know there are people really looking for it for my tutorial, so I have to get moving on that. But it will probably take a month or two before that's gonna be completely complete. I still need to check actually if the coloring and everything would be better displayed with the new lights I bought for recording crossing fingers. But for this blanket, it's a long project, and if you watched my yarn haul video from Friday, from the second haul I made ever from Wool Plain, or Wool Plaza as it's internationally known as, but Wool Plain, which is a Dutch company, They had, together with a Dutch designer, created a mosaic pattern blanket. Never done mosaic before, but I bought the yarn to make that blanket and I bought the pattern. It was like a big collecting thing. Like you could get it all together, though I ended up getting it from Ravelry because I don't know why, but it saved me like 10 cents. But that's what I did. And that's the next blanket project I will do. So once I've done this, I will start on that mosaic pattern, but that's gonna be something I definitely can't do behind TV. So I need something else to do that when I get there. But so yeah, I haven't really done an awful lot on this baby blanket, but it is not forgotten. It's still here and it's still in progress. This is what I have left on my current skein from the ice yarns that I'm using for it. It's 100% acrylic, has a lovely sheen to it. Will add pink when I get there. It's still growing. Happily growing, absolutely. Yeah, then I am also working on my new cardigan, and that's Oasis Cardigan by Drops design. And I also didn't get that far here as I wanted to because work has really been nagging me a lot. I have here, let's see, there. I have this much yarn left on the skein, which is still the first skein. And I had actually done more than that, and I had actually almost completed the extra round. And then I found a mistake, so I flocked it once more. This would be like, what, the third time? Maybe fourth? Third for sure, that I'm flocking this project. I still absolutely can't wait for this to be worked up and look nice and have it on. But I really hate frocking and I had to do it again. And the explanation is here, I had forgotten to add one of the, so I make 2 shell stitches at these places, and here I'd only made 1 shell stitch, and then I just continued here, which I had not noticed at all. And I'm like, that's like the first time I make such a huge mistake. And when I had completed the whole round and I was all the way around and I was ready for this last piece, and after this last piece I will need to read the pattern to see where my next steps are because it's not this easiest pattern, I realized that I was missing this shell stitch. And it's like, okay, this is a mistake. I can't not flock it. I have to flock it. And here we are. I flocked it all the way back. And now I have to start redoing it. And with this yarn somewhere, I'm not sure if it's already here or if it's first here, but I have to change skein. And I actually decided to unravel the other edition I made while working it in, so I don't need to, like, if I have a skein over once I'm done with this whole cardigan, then I'd rather have it on a skein than in a work that I decided was gonna get flocked eventually. So as you can see, I've started unflocking it, and that's what I had worked into all this, and then I had to unflock it, and then basically just went back on this project like this, just to keep track of it. It will be unflocked, this will be completely unflocked and be a part of this, and then I will add new skeins after that. And that's simply because if I have a skein over, it's much easier keeping them like these lovely small donuts. And this is the yarn that I'm using, the Drops Baby Merino mix, which is 100% merino wool. It's absolutely squishy soft, lovely. It's a 4-stranded baby merino. It's a super fine yarn. I do have one of the labels for one of the others, so I don't destroy that one reading because they have information on both sides of the label. It's the yarn group A, and it's a super wash treated extra fine merino wool, which means that I can use the washing machine for this and put it in the washer. Don't use too much detergent and stuff like that, of course. It's 1.8 ounces. So this is a 1.8 ounces and it's 191 yards. That in European terms is 50 grams and 175 meters of yarn. So a pretty nice thin yarn to work with. And you can iron it, you lay flat to dry, wash at 40 degrees max, and dry clean. So no bleach and no tumble dryer. That's basically the short version of it. And it's a yarn designed in Norway. And I am looking forward to getting closely done. So once I completed that round, I had to flock completely. I will be at exactly this top row, and I will have to read the pattern and find out where we go next. But I assume we're getting closer to having to make room for these arm gaps, because hey, I need arms. But it is, as you can see, one big circle worked in the round. You work 2 separate arms and then you add extra side to the fronts to kind of finish up this cardigan. Photos, I think, of it looks gorgeous. And there is a link to that pattern description box down below, as with all the patterns I'm making, where I do have, what is it called? For all the patterns that I'm using for these projects, I have the links to the descriptions of the patterns in the box below. And the yarn hauls for those that's interested in those yarn hauls, because they happen obviously regularly as well. Yes. I also started on an Amigurumi project last week. And that's one of the reasons that I have not worked as much in some of the other projects. Well, the blanket blanket just, I don't know, I wasn't in the mood, I guess. And I did great work on the cardigan and I had to unflock it, and I haven't had time because work was also a pain in the ass. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we just need to dedicate our time to other things than, unfortunately, our crafts. We can't always do only what we want. But I started working on this Amigurumi pattern last week, and that is the Bunny Friends pattern, which is a Go Handmade pattern, and that is, because I have linked it to the description box down below, but it is in UK terms. And it is a free pattern right now listed on the hobby website. But yeah, be aware that it's UK terms, which means that they do mention double crochets a lot, but that is what being US term considers single crochets, etc. I made 3 parts of it, and I'm missing 5 to be able to complete it, I do believe. So that will be the body. Looks more like a vase right now. It is stuffed already. I need to probably sew in this end and stuff like that, but I haven't done it yet before I've seen the description of it, because it's not really informed me how and so on, but that's all right. I'm fine with it. Sometimes it's good to have loose ends, but it did not say fasten off and like close it, so I didn't. And then I have the head. And here you can definitely see the shape slowly coming. I already had the safety eyes added. I did the nose expression here with this. I used cotton yarns for it. This is chenille, budget yarn chenille. I will have to attach a couple of ears here, obviously the body here. So, and then I've made the first ear. So I guess we can do it like this and add this one to the part. So you can kind of see we are going towards a bunny. I am missing one more ear, so one more exactly identical copy of this one, and then I'm missing 4 paws or legs or whatever we should call them. And as I mentioned, I've been doing this in this chenille yarn. This is what's currently left on my second skein. So I've used 1 skein for these 3 parts and a bit, and this is the second skein that I'm working on, and it's also this different color though, but the chunky chenille from budget yarn. And I'm going to use this for the power pads on these, so that's basically going to be combined. So that's why I have this one down here. I do have 1 more of these. I'm probably going to use 1 more ball to be able to complete this lovely, lovely bunny. This bunny that I made, because they have the bunnies in 2 sizes in the pattern, and this one is the small one. I thought was basically stinking cute. And then halfway through that, I got this crazy idea. So that's kind of what now is going to take some of my priority, though it is made in thin yarn, and I'm getting yarn fingers, so I need more breaks than I normally would have. So I might alternate a bit between the projects. But we have family in New Zealand, and we talked about, because we were there this winter, first time ever, vacation of a lifetime. I would definitely go back if I ever had the money and time and a bunch of other things. But I do not regret going there. It was wonderful. But my partner, as said, has family there, and we spent some time with them, and his cousin's daughter has 2 children, so that will be his cousin's grandchildren. But they're all like one big family there, and they're all really, really close. We got to meet them as well, and we saw them as well. But they live on a farm, and they have cows, so they are dairy farmers, really classic New Zealand dairy farmers. And the children aren't that old at all. Like the daughter was born just a couple of months ago, and I think they do have a son. He's probably like 2 or 3 years old, something like that. So they're not super old, but they're really getting older. So I wanted to make them actually. So when we were there, we talked about things we have in the Netherlands that, you know, and we ended up deciding we're gonna make a box and ship to them with different kind of things, edibles, cookies, chocolates. There are different types, like basically things we have they don't have that we think was missing, and they should try it out. And of course, Dutch licorice, stuff like that. But I still have a little room in that box left before I can ship it off. And I decided that I wanted to make 2 small amigurumis to these children. And I wanted to make cows. I started on it, and right now it doesn't look like anything. And that's it with amigurumi. It never looks like what it's gonna be until it's done, right? So this is a head. This is a cow head, basically. And I found this lovely pattern, and I'm just gonna find the name for you guys, and I will also link it in the description box down below. The pattern I found is called Cute Little Harvest Moon Cow. It's a free pattern I found, and I used Google to find it. I will link in the description box down below. And basically what I'm gonna do is, because they have a boy and a girl, is that I'm gonna make this cow. This is the plain body background color. Of course, it's white. It's an off-white, and I'm using this rainbow yarn from Hobby, which is the 8.4 rainbow, 100% cotton, 50 grams or 1.75 ounces, gives 170 meters, which is about 186 yards. They recommend 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Superfine yarn can be washed at 40 degrees or a 95 if it's colors, or white, sorry. It can't be iron, don't bleach. And that's it. And they come in many colors. This is a colorway 2, which I do believe it's called off-white or natural white. So it's not like white, but it's, for me, it's pretty white, especially if you look to like my wall in the back, which is more like a yellowish white or cream white. But yeah, so that's a head which I've made. And if you look at the pattern, you will see it has a snout in pink, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this skin color tone to make the snout in. And then, because they do have a boy and a girl, I'm going to make speckles or the pattern, the black patterns, in either pink or blue. So obviously pink for the girl and blue for the boy. And I may use the gray here for the horns. If you're interested in the colorways for these, this would be 89. I don't remember the color ways, like the names of them. This is just a number, 89. This one is 14. Then we have 71 and 44. Again, so they're just 100% cottons that I'm using for it, but yeah, this is the hat. So it's not gonna be like a big one, it's just like 2 small things, and we want to send this package quite soon if possible. So this has to take my priority if we want to send these away as gifts, basically. So that's the deal. I need to focus to get that done, and sometimes you have to do that. So that's about it. So when I basically have started a bunch of things, new things are coming, but that's basically been my week. It's been busy, very busy actually. Also, if I'm still, I think, missing, at least last night, I haven't checked my mail this morning, I need to check it soon. But I have a winner of my last giveaway. They commented that they mailed me, and I did reply back to that comment, but I still haven't received their email. It's very important that you mail by.myrhøj@gmail.com. So there is a dot in that mail. Don't forget it. It's not just by Myrhøj, it's by.myrhøj@gmail.com. I added the email address just to make sure in my description box here down below as well, for those that could be in doubt of it. Because I really want to set the price, and I know the winner know that they won, and I feel really bad if I don't get the information in any way or form. Optionally, of course, you can send me a private message on Instagram if that's easier, but I would actually prefer by mail. It's much easier for me. Except for that, for this week, we have a current giveaway that is running, which is the Tonya yarn, and there is a lovely baby muffin as well. I will be drawing the winner on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. European Central Time. So if you haven't entered, do go and enter. I have linked to that one also in the description box down below if you haven't seen that one yet. On Friday, I have a new yarn haul coming up, and that yarn haul will be my 6th official yarn haul from Linda Hobby. And that yarn haul mainly contains a bunch of discounted or drop yarns, but in cotton or cotton blends, where there was great discounts on a few weeks ago. And I bought that, and I also actually list some patterns that I had in mind when I bought these yarns and what I would want to make for them. And yeah. Stay tuned for that yarn haul, because that is going to be on Friday. And then I will maybe not reach to be back with you with the yarn talk video on Monday morning. It could be that it first happens Monday evening or Tuesday morning, because there is a few things going on in the coming week. But I will be there eventually. I might be a bit delayed. Stay tuned. Take care until I see you again, and have a happy week and great happy crafting. Bye.